That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but hopefully everything's working. It looks like it's working, so... Okay, great. Thanks, Victim, for the heads up. So, I was trying to answer Natalie's question. What was it? If the NX is coming out, would you still look at it as better or worse than Nintendo's previous intentions? So, the Wii U, their intentions were, I think, they were trying to keep that Wii audience, but also cater to you, Wii U, I guess, hardcore gamer. That's what they said.
Yeah.
They failed. They failed to do that. I think that they want to do is cater to the core gamer now, and since they finally moved on to mobile games, that's going to be where their casual focus is. So they'll have more room to focus. Oh, intentions. You said inventions. You want?
Wait,
you want
what?
to talk about their intentions or their inventions? Their intentions are that. Their intentions are that they want. I think they want to cater to the core gamer with the NX, but mobile games is catering to the casual gamer. And with mobile integration, they're going to try to bring them together. They're going to try to bridge that gap. But I think the NX is going to be more of a core gamer console as opposed to the Wii. Now, did you say intentions? You said inventions. Okay, let me reread your comment. Okay, would you still look at it as better words than Nintendo's previous inventions? Well, I guess that's largely dependent upon what it is. I think Nintendo's been really careful about it this time around. I think they realized that the Wii U's gimmick wasn't strong enough. And I think they probably realized that the 3D's gimmick wasn't strong enough, as evidenced by them releasing the 2DS, and also as evidenced by Pokemon Sun and Moon not releasing the 3D effect at all. So I'm hoping that this time around, whatever invention they have, it's worthwhile. So I expect their invention to be better than their previous inventions. I expect that, but really we won't know until we get our hands on the system. Like, we may see it tomorrow, and it may seem amazing, but we're not going to really know until we get our hands on the system. Like, I thought the Wii U idea was really cool, because they're going to bring the DS innovations onto a home console. I thought that was amazing, but when I finally got the Wii U, looking down and up, just proved to not really be that comfortable of a gaming experience. So, yeah. I hope that answers your question. It looks like you kind of agree with me, so cool. What do you think, Sean?
Okay, dude, I'm sorry about my stream. It's like distracting the hell out of me. I'm promising by the end of the year I'll have a good computer, and this kind of thing will never happen. But yeah, Now says she's back on my stream, so I wonder if she left yours. I don't know. She said she had some questions for me earlier when things were all broken. I wonder what she has to say. But, yeah. I everything you said is 100% true. I completely agree with everything. Yeah. It's hard to remember exactly what you said right now because this whole thing is just making me angry.
I basically just said that
yeah, give me a refresher.
I think that the inventions that they will be bringing to the NX will probably be better than the Wii U, but we won't really know until we get our hands on the system. I thought the Wii U's inventions were going to be good, but it turned out to not really be as good as what we were hoping for.
Yeah, exactly. She says, although the Wii U is helping kids/people without their...
work out their deck.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, there are some kids with really beefy necks, thanks to the Wii U. So, for those people, Nintendo did them a great service.
Beefy necks.
Yeah.
I like that. Especially with playing Star Fox Zero. Dude, my neck was sore for the day.
I want to play Star Fox Zero with a friend. They didn't really have a legit co-op mode, but I feel like playing with a friend is actually harder.
Probably, yeah.
But it's an interesting experience, communicating between the both of them. So, I guess we're getting to a point now where we're getting later into the stream. Maybe we should start talking about I don't know. Do you have any predictions or hopes for what we're going to see with the NX?
um. Let's see. Do you mean like tomorrow or just like in general? Like in the future?
Tomorrow, we think we're probably going to get the concept, maybe see one game, maybe two, probably not, or perhaps a really quick, like 30-second montage of the games at the end, and then we'll get a flood of information over the next few weeks afterwards.
Yeah.
But like, I guess, you know, just moving forward in general, what are your hopes? I guess in terms of like the games, at least. Let's focus on the games.
Yeah, the games. First off, I'm not one of those fans that just want like sequels to old games. Like everyone just wants a Mario Sunshine 2 and everyone wants a Mario 64 2. And I'm not really interested in things like that. What I think, in my first video I ever did on YouTube, I talked about Nintendo. They need to make new IPs because what they did with Splatoon and what they did with Animal Crossing, and even back when the games first came out, like Mario and Zelda and all those games, they put this special Nintendo magic on all the things they've ever done. And whenever those games came out for the first time, everyone was just blown away like what they could do. And I was very shocked to learn that the Inklings were Nintendo's first new character since Olimar on Pikmin. That was like 15 years prior. I mean, that's just crazy.
Is that true? Where did you hear that?
Did you know gaming?
Digitimes?
No, did you know gaming?
Did you know? Maybe. Well, what do you think of me characters? Like those came in between.
Yeah, that's true,
I mean, they're not like, you know.
Yeah.
There's a difference between a me and the Inklings.
Yeah.
For sure, but I don't.
Well,
still, I understand the idea you're getting at here. Like, Nintendo hasn't come out with too many exciting core gaming IPs, or since in a while, and Splatoon's like one of the first ones in a long time.
Yeah. So like, if they just put that, you know, Nintendo magic that they did with Splatoon and when Mario first ever came out, and if they just keep doing that to like whole different kinds of genres, they just, I mean, it would just be so great. Like, if, I know this is a stretch, but I'm just giving an example, like, if they came out with a game similar to Overwatch, I'm just saying, like, that genre, like the hero
that's a
thing.
Shooter, like, I could see Nintendo coming out with another shooter, maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe it could be along the lines of Overwatch, maybe. But yeah, it's a cool one. So let me address a couple comments in my chat before we move forward.
Yep.
First, hello to Mario and Luigi's account. What's up? He says, we need Pac-Man on the NX. He's been gone for a while. And since he has one on Wii U, I see it happening. I mean, I think a Pac-Man game to some capacity will definitely come. Victim also said a couple things first. He said that the NX will focus more on mobile consumers. Does this mean that the DS family will eventually be extinct? I don't think so, and well, okay, I guess that depends on how you see it. I think that there's going to be a handheld device that you can play your games on, but those games that you play on your handheld device are also probably going to be the same games you play on your home console. So, and a lot of the casual focus is going to be on mobile games, but there's still probably going to be some casual games on the DS as well, just maybe not as many. So.
Yeah, also, like, the DS family, like, will obviously eventually die, but they're still going to put out handhelds, obviously.
Right. I guess the big question is, will the next handheld be a dual-screen experience?
I don't know. I would miss it a lot because I
would like it to be.
Yeah, I love the inventory and the map and everything, and every game that uses it.
And I really do love this whole design of closing and opening.
Yeah, it's just cool.
It allows for a bigger gameplay experience to be fit into a smaller size. So, honestly, I feel like they should just improve this. Give this an HD screen, and maybe make this like an actual analog slider.
Yeah,
I think that's all they honestly need to do. Maybe add multi-touch, but I don't really know what they're thinking of the handheld. I'm gonna worry about the home console for now. We'll worry about the handheld later.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna at least till like next holiday, at very, very least, until a new handheld comes out.
Right. So there's a few more comments here talking about Mario. My perfect game for Mario would be an origin story that tells a tale of a love triangle between Mario, Peach, and Bowser.
Probably not.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I feel like Sunshine kind of touched on that. I mean, baby Bowser said, "Oh, Peach is your mother." Peach didn't seem like that was the case, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Victim brings up the same thing. Yeah, he brings up the same thing.
Yeah, what Natalie just said.
Totally agree with her.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah.
That's
I agree. I think something that would be great. I mean, if you look at Metroid Prime, when they reinvented the Metroid Prime series, like, that was an amazing experience. But if they were to replicate what they did with Metroid Prime, I'm sure I would enjoy it a lot. But it wouldn't be the same as when I played Metroid Prime for the first time. What they need are those new games, like Splatoon. Like, new, fresh experiences. And that's what's going to really excite people. It's really going to help to bring back that awe and wonder that we had when we were younger.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
100% agree with Natalie. 100% agree with you, Sean.
Yeah, they always just put their own unique spins on genres, like Animal Crossing, the whole sim genre. That was just, I never actually even played Animal Crossing, but that was their own unique take. The characters and the art style was their own take on, like,
Metroid Prime is coming, Brian. Don't worry.
Yeah, and Metroid was their own take on the first person, and that was just amazing, obviously. And it's just whenever they put their own spin on things, like even Super Mario Run looks cool, and that's just a take on a stupid Endless Runner. I mean, that even looks really cool.
All Endless Runners, I feel like, are just copies of Mario, so now Mario
essentially,
is copying. I got distracted.
I honestly don't even remember.
Well, I mean, we were talking about new games. Well, my comment section, they're talking about Animal Crossing on NX. I personally haven't been super excited about Animal Crossing as of late, but I would, if maybe they can somehow make it a fresh experience, well, I anticipate that.
Yeah. I want to actually give it a try. It never really interested me until New Leaf came out, and for some reason I just never got New Leaf. So, yeah, I would love to give a new game a try.
Oh, Natalie's asking me an interesting question that's not necessarily related to the NX. I'll read out her comment. So, I have a question. Do you think Mario was going to be the character that basically represented Nintendo, or Nintendo decided to make Mario the original character due to popularity? So, I'm only 24, so, you know, I started playing games, well, sort of on the Super Nintendo, but really on the N64. So my history is not fantastic, although I've read a lot about the history of Nintendo, so I have an idea. But I believe, like, one of their first games was the Game & Watch, and they also Donkey Kong was one of their first really popular games. So, and that had Jumpman. So,
Jumpman.
Game & Watch is also a similar character to Jumpman. I think the concept of them were similar. You could argue they're different, but that's not, I don't think it's specified. I could be wrong. So, Mario is definitely one of the very first Nintendo games. Donkey Kong was like the pack-in game for the NES. It was one of their most successful arcade games. So, I think technically Game & Watch was Nintendo's first character. But Jumpman, I think, was fashioned off Game & Watch.
Yeah,
so
I'm pretty sure that's like a fact.
Sort of Nintendo's first character, but not really.
Yep.
He plays a large role with their beginnings, but he's not exactly their first character.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like an actual fact right there.
Yeah, no, I think Mario's always going to be a staple for Nintendo. He's basically Mickey Mouse, you know, except in my opinion cooler. But Mario is to Nintendo what Mickey Mouse is to Disney. However, I do think Link and Zelda, they're not as strong as Mario, but it is another strong character for Nintendo, especially with the core gamer. And then there's of course Pokemon. Now I don't know if as many people realize that Pokemon is associated with Nintendo. especially since they have the anime, the card, and they really branch out a lot, and it is technically, like a second-party franchise.
Yeah.
So, but definitely Mario is going to be the staple forever. I mean, even within the tweet where they say that the NX is an NX show is coming out tomorrow, Mario is in the picture. The costume of Mario peeking behind the curtain. So, Mario's always going to be that mainstay. And what's really interesting, though, is that we know Zelda is pretty much ready, and there's been a lot of rumors about Super Mario games, so the NX may be launching with a Super Mario game and a Legend of Zelda game. And that's never happened. Never have we gotten a mainline Super Mario game and Zelda game. If both of those come out, the hype is going to be real. It's going to be amazing. And people may argue the one that caveat to this is that it may not happen because they may not want Zelda and Mario to kind of steal sales from each other. But both of those titles are probably going to be evergreen titles, which means that they're going to consistently sell throughout time. They're not going to really have a drop off, or not a significant drop off. So they could still do that, and having both Mario and Zelda could be what pushes a lot of people over the hump. Maybe just one of those won't be, but having both of them may just bring people in hordes,
Yeah.
I mean, I would get both. There's no option. I have to get both. I have to, and there's no waiting either. If I don't have the money, I'll make it somehow. I'll donate plasma if I have to.
Yeah, same.
I hopefully won't be. I think I'm making my way into being in a decent financial position in the future. But worst comes to worst, I will sell my part of my body to get both games at launch.
Sell my entire penis if I have to.
Ooh, that's
just chop it right off. Give it to some hobo.
Too far. Too far for me. So Victim is talking about it'll be very hard. Yeah, they need to make a Wario version of Peach. Peach.
Peach. Oh my god.
I would like a Wario game.
Wario and Luigi game. That's Mario and Luigi, but with Wario and Luigi.
Maybe that could be interesting.
I mean Wario and Waluigi.
Waluigi's never really had his own game.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Been in the party games.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So,
same thing with Daisy. That always makes you annoyed.
No, I think Daisy has been actually the princess that you save in a few 2D Mario games.
Yeah, it was Mario Land 2 or something.
Yeah, so I mean, Daisy is more important than Waluigi.
Yeah, but that was only one game, on the Game Boy.
Yeah, but still, she was the princess in a game. Waluigi was never the princess in any game.
He should be a princess.
What if that was
Wario saved him?
Wario game, he has to save Waluigi.
That'd be so cool.
And he's dressed up as a princess. Waluigi thinks it's a princess, but at the end of the game, it's actually Waluigi cross-dressing or something.
Dude, that'd be so weird.
It would be very weird.
It'd be super censored.
Maybe it could be a part of the next, Captain Rainbow.
Yeah.
You know about Captain Rainbow?
Yeah.
It was that really weird game where Berta was supposedly a transvestite.
Yeah.
And it only came out in Japan.
Yeah.
It was a really weird game. And I could definitely have maybe Waluigi can come back in Captain Rainbow too.
Oh, that's the one that's supposed to be Mario Bros. 2, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it came out for the Wii.
Oh. Okay, yeah, but I know what you're talking about though. I thought I was just mixing up the names.
Yeah.
But,
so, Mario and Luigi's account, he brings up that we need a new game console soon. He says we need an action-adventure 3D like no other before.
That's
I want to say something, though. Nintendo has gone flack in the past because they don't create too many new IPs. But the problem is that they have so many franchises in the backlog that very people know about. And a lot of times they decide to reinvigorate some of those franchises, Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus, we saw him come back in Brawl. His character was reinvented.
Kid Icarus Uprising is amazing.
Kid Icarus Uprising and that is one of my favorite 3DS games. Like, the controls are supposedly a little divisive, but
understandably so.
If you could get past the controls, which personally I actually liked.
Yeah, me too.
If you could get past that point, it's an amazing game. Like, for 3DS, it had amazing graphics, it had great online, had a really funny story, the characters were hilarious.
It was such a console experience.
Right. But that was basically a new franchise. It's basically a new game. Because Kid Icarus, like, the first Kid Icarus is like this little 2D, like, platform that goes upwards. Like, Kid Icarus Uprising is nothing like it. It is basically a new franchise, even though it's using an old IP name. If that makes any sense.
Well, that also allows for Natalie. She asked me a question that says, would I rather them make new games or like new IPs or more old ones, like keep bringing back like their old franchises?
Okay, you answer this. I'll have my own answer to that when you're done.
Okay, my answer is both, and potentially we could be getting both with the whole Divisions thing being merged.
Right.
Because they weren't here earlier when we were talking about it, so I'll say it again. We're saying that having them together would just allow them to work so much more efficiently and put out games more often, no matter what system they're going to be put out on. If the NX is not a hybrid, which it's pretty much been confirmed that it's not.
We'll see for sure tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll put up that graphic one more time. Note the graphic I have now that's talking, since we're probably getting kind of close to the end of this live stream.
Yeah.
But note the graphic I have now. It's talking about Nintendo having multiple form factors. This is one of the final shareholder meetings that Nintendo had with Iwata. That's talking multiple form factors that can connect together, and note the smartphones, PCs, and tablets, along with the 3DS, the Wii U, and eventually the NX. And now I'm going to put up the graphic of this. If you haven't seen it already, this basically shows the next home gaming system. But as you were saying, Sean, sorry to go off tangent there.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I was just pretty much saying, like, reiterating what we were saying earlier. It's just like, no matter what, merging the divisions is just going to be great, and it's going to be more software output, no matter where the games are going, because, like,
yes, exactly.
There's be more resources for everyone, and like the chemistry, which is an underrated thing, I think. The chemistry of everyone working together, and the more resources they have, and just it's nothing but a good thing. That'll put way more games out. There won't be any more droughts, hopefully.
Yeah, so to piggyback on what you were saying, because Nintendo has unified their gaming divisions, like you said, there's going to be more Nintendo games. So I think there's going to be room to have new franchises, and there's going to be room to have returning franchises. I think there's going to be a healthy mix of both. I think we're going to see the greatest old Nintendo games ever, because they're combining their software libraries. So no longer will they have to focus on making 2 Smash Brothers, 2 Mario Karts, 2 Mario Parties. So they can devote all that extra development time into making new games. And meanwhile, all the games that would have been on a handheld can now be on the on the home console, and all the games that would have been on a home console can be on the portable, since they're going to share their libraries. And that's going to be the beauty. Like, even if they don't have third-party support, the software library situation is going to be a lot better than it was on Wii U and 3DS.
Yep.
And hopefully they do have third-party support. Some of the rumors suggest that it will. So I hope that's right.
Yeah, definitely.
New Punch-Out? Well, that's just as likely. It's more likely now than on Wii U, because the NX is going to have more games if you consider the unification of libraries. And Perfect Dark like franchise, yeah, I'm sad that went away with Rare. Maybe.
R.I.P.
Maybe Metroid Prime will somehow still be a great single-player game, but they can implement that multiplayer that makes it interesting. So Nintendo can have that like hardcore like shooter franchise as well.
Yeah,
I don't know. It remains to be seen.
Yeah, I did my second video I did on YouTube was talking about Metroid and how I personally think that they need to like desperately change up that formula that they always go with. Because I had played Metroid Prime on the Virtual Console like right before I made that video, and that kind of is what made me what I said in the video is what made me want to start YouTube. Was I talked about how Metroid is basically Zelda in space. I mean, everything about it is like you get upgrades for items, you get new items throughout the whole game, you get life tanks, which are basically hearts, and there's like puzzles, and it's an adventure game rather than an action game, and I've always thought it was basically Zelda in space. And I mean, there's even like a secret song, like when you get a secret in Zelda, there's always that little like thing that always plays. But since Zelda is changing its formula like ridiculous and making it super new and fresh and looks amazing, that I think that they really need to do that with Metroid, because I played Metroid Prime and it hasn't aged well, I don't think. Like the awkward platforming that you always have to do, that you can't like look around, you kind of just have to like look straight and jump on this platform that you're not even sure you're gonna make because you can't really look around. And I thought it was like super boring, and there was just so much like backtracking and it was boring because it was more of just walking around and killing the same enemies you've already killed 10 times because you've walked through that door 10 times. And I feel like that they need to change it to appeal more so to like hardcore gamers, like make it more action oriented. This is my own opinion. I think it would be cool to have it more like action oriented. Maybe even revisit its classic roots where it's being influenced by the Alien franchise, and maybe put a little tiny sprinkling of horror aspects into it. Not really like horror, but like...
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime has always had like it's not horror, but
yeah,
you do have this atmosphere that isolates you, and you can get so engaged, and there is tough situations where you can get scared, and that's great, but it's objective is not to be horror, but there are elements in it, and they can scare you at times.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't deny that there are similarities between Zelda and Metroid Prime. I mean, those games are... When Mario, Zelda, and Metroid came out, like, all of them kind of, like, were like a triangle of gameplay, like, they all took elements from each other. But with the next Metroid Prime, assuming it's Metroid Prime or something of the sort, I definitely think that they're challenging the conventions of Zelda, they're going to challenge the conventions of Super Mario, as said by Iwata. They're probably going to challenge conventions for Metroid, because as important of a franchise as it is, it does not sell as well as Mario and Zelda, and I think they need to take a look at that and figure out how they can remedy that. Yeah, and one of the ways that I've said for years is by including a multiplayer mode that would make it a lot more accessible.
I agree.
But at the same time, don't lose that heart of a single-player experience, but somehow make it, like, encourage those who are getting to the multiplayer game to get deeper into the single-player game that's very hard, so they can get more out of the multiplayer game. And that, I think, is a way to, granted, to have a good multiplayer and single-player game, this makes it a really big-budget title. But it is possible. And if they do that, I think Metroid Prime, the Metroid franchise, could definitely sell a lot more. But it's in order for it to sell a lot more, well, there's different ways they can do it, but one of the ways is by having that online multiplayer aspect that appeals to a much larger mass. But, that on top of maybe some sort of mobile game could increase that audience more so. So I don't know if they'll go open world, and maybe that's the sacrifice that they'll need to be made in order for Metroid Prime to happen. Maybe Metroid Prime will be more like BioShock, but like with Metroid Prime, but incorporate the online multiplayer as well.
Yeah, I think that it would be
a good idea to go open world, but not so open world that it loses track of its narrative, like pretty much every open world game does nowadays. Like Xenoblade Chronicles X, that game is so open world that the actual story of the game is just kind of terrible because they didn't really focus on the story like they did with the first Xenoblade Chronicles.
I wouldn't go as far as saying it's terrible, but
I don't think it's terrible. It's like not as interesting.
Not as good as Xenoblade X, the original Xenoblade. Definitely, I have to agree with you there. It was not as good.
Yeah, it's not very interesting. It's like
a larger world.
Yeah, it's like the director even said that making the open world and having all the side quests and everything really took away from the actual main story of the game. He said the next game that they make, they're gonna have a really good main story and focus less on side quests, which makes me so happy because like my favorite thing about Xenoblade was the story.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, the game was so long. Like, is the story over yet? Like, I wasn't like. I wasn't waiting for. I was like, oh man, I love this game so much. I hope the story's not over yet, but it has to be over now. Oh, it's not.
Yeah, there's like twists and turns like every 10 seconds of that game.
Like, it's just
awesome.
Amazing how you can continue and continue to play Xenoblade, and it's great. But you know, we are getting to the end of the live stream. If anyone is tuning in now, sorry.
Rewatch it.
To get up early tomorrow, but you can go back and watch the whole thing. It's about 2 hours long. So there's a few cutouts, but I think we covered a lot of bases. I guess we should have our ending thoughts because I mean the trailer is for the NX is coming up tomorrow at 10 a.m. Your ending thoughts, Sean, and then I'll do my ending thoughts, and then I guess we can call it a night.
Okay. First, I'm gonna add a little tiny tidbit about Nintendo reinventing their franchises. Fire Emblem completely changed it with Awakening, and then all of a sudden everyone flocked towards it. That's another good example of them having to change their franchises to appeal to more people, like we're talking about with Metroid and Zelda and Mario. But yeah, so my final thoughts, I depressingly and sadly admit crushing defeat. That picture almost it made me cry inside. Tomorrow, I have high expectations of it should be good, but I have no expectations whatsoever of what it actually will be. Like, I will be surprised no matter what tomorrow, which is actually really cool. Like, I cannot wait to find out. And yeah, it'll be a home console. It will. Like, that picture Andres put up 100% proves it. Whether or not there's a mobile aspect or not, it will be a home console first and foremost, and yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that you are willing to admit defeat. Like, I think that shows a lot of character, and in my opinion, that makes you more credible. So yeah. I appreciate that. But at the end of the day, like, we don't know who's right. We don't know who's right until the actual reveal tomorrow at 10 a.m. Yeah. But I will say this as my closing thoughts. Hey Manu, sorry, we're ending the stream now. Is my final thoughts, but it's like 2 hours long. You can go back to the beginning. We cover a lot of stuff.
Good podcast, I guess you could say.
Right? Yeah, it's basically a podcast. But my closing thoughts. So, even though I feel like the evidence is strongly pushing it towards a home console focused system, I do think there's going to be some sort of portable aspect to it, mobile integration maybe. I think based off the Reddit leak, the Reddit retailer, it could really be like a good powered console. But I think there's going to be something else that surprises to really throw us off guard, and I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting to be surprised tomorrow, hopefully for the better. But regardless of what the NX is, we already know Nintendo's unifying their gaming divisions, and that suggests that we're going to have more Nintendo games than ever before, and they're going to be able to focus their resources and create even greater quality. And as evidenced by Breath of the Wild and Miyamoto's comments about challenging the conventions of Mario, it looks like they're going back to really pushing these core gaming experiences. Like Breath of the Wild is one of the most exciting Nintendo games I've seen since, I'm going to say since maybe Metroid Prime. And Metroid Prime to me is one of the greatest games ever. like top 5 easily.
Yeah.
Easily. So I mean, if you disagree with me, just look at like the ratings. Although I will say Mario Galaxy was also really good, but that was back in 2007.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been as excited for any game ever than I have for Zelda.
Yeah. So I think that regardless of what it is, hybrid, home console, refrigerator, banana,
That'd be cool.
it's going to be a system that's going to have a lot of Nintendo games. And I think it's going to be Nintendo at their best. And I'm really excited about that. So, anyways, guys, thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you staying around for the stream. If you can give us a like, please do that. But only if you enjoyed the video. And if you enjoy our content, please subscribe. Anyways, I'm AndresRestart. And Marlo's Music and Games, my friend Sean. Please check out his channel as well. He is pretty cool as well. So,
thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
And everyone on my side, check out Andres. He's pretty dope.
I'm dope.
Yeah, super dope.
Alright, I hope I can find a way to sleep tonight, but I doubt it.
Yeah, no, right? I probably won't.
Everyone, the trailer, the 3-minute long trailer that's going to showcase what the NX system is, at least the initial concept, is coming out tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific Time, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, or 1 a.m. if you live in Australia.
Yeah.
So, stay tuned, everyone.
Yep.
And thanks for watching, guys.
Yep. See you later.
Alright, peace. Going off now. I'm going off the stream now.
Okay. And for everyone on my side, I will be live streaming it tomorrow. Which is 10 for me.